Na the 27th day of August 2021. We want to lay a table the price index for July 2021 according to Statistics Sierra Leone. The last day will be there. Statistics don't tell we say now they walk down one day na the country for make we know how things then turn like na the market. We be asked a question. Where can don't get all this data if they can go put on the president in table? Or maybe pass on through the chief minister. Or maybe pass on through the Ministry of Trade. Somebody go and say a big there left Ministry of Trade na because they want them day na the one green sabi waiting them deeper with the real price they go. Well, for the month of July 2021, this now waiting statistics will make me if we want for compare June 2021, we go remember say people them begin for choose either for it or for wear. So waiting be happen. The demand for food, the things then for food, nine people then be chase after, and the one for wear, way na clothing, people then not be good away this so. As I've been saying earlier, why be they introduce the program? Say if you can ship go salon, say right now, not to normal times. What do I mean by that? Prices then don't go up. Yes, we were the ship. There is another one way with the area about open barrels, open boxes, then the damage barrel them. Well, let we wait for 2021 August price index with the increase of the petroleum products them. Let we see how that one they get for look like in the eyes of Statistics Sierra Leone. Because where person say Sierra Leone hard, they say na today salon begin hard. I ask just and say somebody catch me say now we get hardship, we get car power ship, we get relationship. I see person comment back say we get beggar ship. Who said that ship day? Where we get that salon. But anyway, through Statistics Sierra Leone, now this they want for make me about the price index for July 2021. They always they remind we say Statistics Sierra Leone. Now the institution we get the mandate, we get the charge and the responsibility for compile statistics data na the country. So on Wednesday, the 18th day of August, and they say na well attended press meeting. And then do another headquarter na Tawail na Freetown. And they then release the consumer price index for July 2021. And they practice we get stress ship. Alright. Let the ship then they can load they see. Then say they want to make we Sierra Leoneans then know say then he always collect price. And for this July 2021, the prices that we then collect now 437 items them now then collect price for 437 items. And then go na different markets them. And if they say them for count the markets then now 6 markets then na then go. If they say them for tell we the area they wouldn't go na them markets here, then go na Freetown, we na 6 na Freetown, then go 3 na Bo, 3 na Kenema, 3 na Makeni, and 3 na Kono. And they say they do them weekly. So we go on for say how they able for get the data. Now I dey break down for you so. Yeah? Look like say the ship then they come better one right now. Mohamed Ba say thief ship. Hamed Tijan Ba say corrupt ship. Okay, we'll get corrupt ship again. Judge Kamara say deception ship. Keep the ship then coming. One for no, then ship the holding a saloon. So as I don't tell you, this then collect from 437 items them, 6 markets na Freetown, 3 na Bo, 3 na Kenema, 3 na Makeni, and 3 na Kono, and a weekly then be the goodie. Weekly. Then say then they collect from other outlets then back on a monthly basis, as the price then likely go fluctuate weekly. Alright. They say the modify formula where then they use for do this index, then classify them according to the classification of individual consumption by purpose, with 12 function them. Consumption by purpose, individual consumption by purpose, with 12 functions. Okay? They say since they don't make we understand the consumer price index, how they get this data, we then put together, the deputy let me see this again. The Deputy Statistician General of Statistics Sierra Leone, Andrew Bob Johnny, say the national inflation rate for July 2021 consumer price index show annual national inflation than a year on year. We then compare 2020 to 2021 and a year on year, and say we then compare that the inflation na salon it map steady one 10.50%. 10.50% and the inflation map. This na through Statistics Sierra Leone. I don't give how they say they compute, forget the data. Okay? Then say, but this way they want for compare, it is up by 0.30 percent points. Because inside June, it be 10.20. But now, it is waiting 10.50. Okay? They say the monthly inflation, it is 1.53%. And it don't go up by 0.88%. Because we then compare to June be the 0.65%. You hear, the monthly inflation, it go up by 1.53%. June, they say na be 65. But now we get 1.53. He also, then Mr. Darami, Andrew Bob Johnny, also pointed out, say, the National Consumer Price Index, they measure them with the average price level of selected goods and services then at the country. And the inflation rate change between the consumer price index of any two period, where then go say, well, between 3 monthly or 12 monthly, where then can always call year on year. It also say year-on-year rate is most considered for economic decision making and the macroeconomic analysis, because then they compare the current situation with 1 year back. We then go look on the inflation rate, and they say that one is the important one we then they use for gauge, because it affects the consumer in pattern, the consumption pattern of the consumer, the production cost of the producer, and the policies with government in the put, and the development partners them. Yeah, so we not talk about development partners. Okay? This na the things them we July able for expose. It say alcoholic beverages, tobacco, narcotics, they increase from 12.18% inside June to 19.52% inside July. And the inflation rate increased by 7.34 percentage points year on year. That would then compare to last year. So compared to last year, there is an inflation right now in alcoholic, beverage, tobacco, and narcotics. He say the transport increased from 3.67% inside June to 10.85% in July. Hey! Transport increase from 3.67% to 10.85% inside July, and the inflation rate increased by 7.18 percentage points year on year. But transport business, compared to last year, there is a 7.18% increase. All right. I hope you're able for take note about the increase them with statistics, one for make me you pay attention on. Then say in summary, the year-on-year national inflation rate continued in double digits. 2020 compared to 2021, it is in double digits and is above the estimate of the Western region, but below Eastern, Northern, and Southern regional estimates. Only the Western region, 8.73% registered a single digit. Me, I don't talk Kanaya. Even when we been do the one for June, this one where then they make say free tongue. Well, you know what thing? They might be right. Let's just take and so. If the hardship will be seen a free tongue, they still say it is in a single digit. Can you imagine the double digits them within the provinces? Can you imagine that? If we two they seen a free tongue now, statistics they tell us in a single digit landy. Because look who side people in they live. Look how people for survive in a day. Then until we say this particular one, na single digits. My dear, how we people in now the provinces? Okay. Judge Kamara they actually say if the narcotics na legal or illegal. Well, and then a statistics so I don't think say if illegal and go put an aya. Alright, slow continue. We don't do the beverages them. Look now to food. Food inflation rate, they say in moderate inside July. They say is surpassed by inflation rate of alcoholic beverage, tobacco and the narcotics and the furniture household equipment and household maintenance, adding that non-food inflation increased by 1.85 percentage points. And then Phil say alcoholic beverage, tobacco, narcotic, and transport look drag and small yonder. Judge Kamara say more secure than a Freetown than in the provinces, trust me. Well, I make they say, I don't know how statistics always they tell we say inside Freetown na single digit inflation ended. But now the provinces na double. I don't know. But now I don't give you how then they put them together. July year-on-year national inflation rate indicates an increase by 0.30 percent point, where we don't talk just now, from 10.20% inside June 2021. And I'm afraid when we get for they do this every month. As long as statistics Leon pull them, we get to earn on them, we did one. Augustine gets for Mona. Augustine. He surely gets for Mona. We suicide transport because it was in July. We transport them be increase and back. We see how the transportation been look like now inside July. Let alone now there is another increase inside August. Well, statistics Sierra Leone. Una don't get at this. Una de go put her na the pine table. Oda two na the pass and two. Or I can just put and say, put them out there. Say a network must speak them. Then go come for can talk and the media houses them. Then go talk about and that's it. Because when I say when they do this, now based on that day, the government self go take decision and even the developing partners them. No so they left them behind. So now I make gist now. I mean they ask who's kind about ship them where we get salon. And the way I see who they respond. I tell us say he say delivery ship. He said the delivery ship just dock now Ataki. Okay. So say the clinic in kind sign now. Eh? If the delivery ship just dock now Ataki, who say the clinic in come? But anyway, make we bring Cam Usman Toli. Make we hear wetin he gets for we today inside the price index for July 2021. Welcome on board, Usman Toli. You get the platform, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for having me. And also, I just want to thank all we listeners them for coming on board, for coming listen to this interesting information from Statistics Sierra Leone. Today we will talk on the topic Statistics Sierra Leone done unveils July 2021 Consumer Price Index, where it just be say the Consumer Price Index, now they measure the inflation rate. Now in they tell we the rate at which inflation, whether inflation by the percentage by which inflation go up. Well, inflation now we country, I know say a lot of people are surprised the percentage where they come out from Statistics Sierra Leone. But first of all, let's just explain what in the CPI, where now the Consumer Price Index. The CPI, now the Consumer Price Index, now 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 the The CPI is just a measure if what is the price of a fixed basket of goods. In other words, it a measure the rate at which the inflation don't change, whether we get by how much percentage the inflation don't change. The way how they can do then they go out like what in triple way they just explain. Then they go out, they measure the prices of the various goods then at the market. Sometimes then they select different goods then and the services them at the market. And then compare them to what may not happen the last time, whether on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. Then compare the rate at which it changed and by how much percentage. So now a measure of inflation. CPI now a measure of inflation. Well, AAA, I listened to your report on statistics Sierra Leone. We know say a number of questions then a number of fundamental questions that arise, especially in terms of regional disparity. Usai they talk say the western area, then found out say the inflation rate is lower than that of the provinces. Well, you go let for ask. Because when you think about the way how things they go on Freetown, we they see the prices and they go on up on a regular basis. But also you get to think of the fact say where people can buy then goods here can go upline. You get to remember say then get to put them transportation cost inside. The prices the way you get upline, you know, higher than the one the way they Freetown. And also in terms of service system, you will expect say, where people and they import and goods them from abroad when they come, now Freetown, now they and they receive them. So for care and go upline again involves some extra cost. And also I believe say the prices of other items than services than Freetown, I believe say them much more higher than that of the one them way they in the provinces. Maybe then they will use as an explanation why then think say inflation na Freetown na a single digit as compared to the one na the provinces. Now let me say this. I think you mentioned that AAA next month, August, because it looked like then they do them on a monthly basis. Would they anticipate say next month the inflation rate go much more higher than what you go think? The reason is AAA, as you mentioned, the petrol price don't go up, fuel price don't go up. And we all know say when price of fuel go up, other service system as well as product them prices again for go up. So that are one of the factors them where I feel say it will likely affect next month CPI, Consumer Price Index. And one interesting thing where they see they go on right now, what they listen to on social media is the rate at which foreign currency they go up. They say the dollar don't go up, the euro they go up, and as well as that of the pounds. They say the simple fact that from where the bank governor announced the redenomination of Salon currency, it don't bring panic. And we can quite remember when we talk about the redenomination of the currency on this platform, we express some doubt or some concerns, I would say. And one of the concerns that will be raised AAA is the fact that people in a way they don't keep the money, whether investors or business people or politicians or whatever you name them, then go begin for bring the money central bank in exchange of the new currency where the bank governors say then they in process for print out. But one other thing where we fail for measure is the fact that most of them investors here, most of them people here, we keep their money here, now then they go for the foreign currency, whether the dollar, the pound, or the euro, where now the most popular international currencies that when they use, then go decide, say, you know what? Instead of we hold this money in leones, we go decide for buy the foreign currency short as the dollar. So we not go surprise if we see the dollar they go up as well as other currencies then they begin go up because people then go want exchange the money where they may don't keep due to uncertainty with them foreign money here. And don't forget when the exchange rate go up, it influence inflation. In other words, exchange rate they cause inflation. So this is why I believe say the next coming CPI, where now the consumer price index will likely be higher than the current one, that the one way just come out, because clearly we know say exchange rate the influence that of inflation. Make no mistake, triple A, with a really a lot of people and they ask the questions because when you look at some of una investigation una they do, short as talk to camera, they talk of NGC themselves get the habit for the go to the market, for go ask people them and go quantify the prices them. They always they come up say inflation rates they go up more than what in statistics rally they tell me. So we can always see some form of discrepancies. But recently we know say the price of cement don't go up. They say it's over 100,000. I remember when I've been there about 8 months ago. I think a bag of cement was about I don't give the right figure, but it be really they don't. Now then they tell we say the price of uh, cement don't go up. So I think say now one of the factors then this what they look at when we they talk about the inflation rate. But trust me, triple A, one of the biggest factors where they influence the rate at which prices and they go up in that country, they na price, na the fuel. Make no mistake, when the price of fuel go up, it influence a lot of other factors then. They get a ripple effect. In other words, you get impact in almost all the sectors then, in terms of the service system, what they use, in terms of the product them, the farmer they use, especially in a country who say who they generate nationally, the amount of electricity who they generate very low. So to a very large extent, even the one them where they use generators them, they rely on fuel. So when the price of fuel go up, we know say in terms of manufacturing and other things, them they all get for go up. So as I say, triple A, would expect say the next one when July, I mean the next one way August, would expect the prices for go up. We expect inflation for go higher than this. One, as I mentioned, the redenomination, it creates panic. And until we see how that redenomination will go, because sometimes redenomination, it gets short-term effect way very detrimental. Very detrimental. That early stage of redenomination is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Now there we see a lot of cons. Now there we see a lot of things that can happen. So until they're able to steady them, and we're able to see the clear picture before we see things they happen. But that short time way then they do the redenomination because they are, people, and they anticipate a lot of things, For example, what would they see now in terms of the foreign exchange, where everybody want get all of the dollar or the pound go affect the exchange rate. And also, you talk about the way how the fuel price they go up. We don't know whether it is, whether we don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. It's possible that it will continue to go up the way how things tend to go. So I will stop here. I'll like give chance to other panelists. Them. Thank you very much, Triple A, and thanks to everybody. But I think inflation don't go up slightly. It go up slightly
You
as
mean
compare,
the
you
year
know,
on year?
the year
The
on
year on
year.
year? The
Yeah, go
inflation,
on.
or just the month as compared to the previous one?
The monthly one has gone up slightly. The monthly one has gone up slightly, if I
Okay.
get you right. And the year on year, then say it's steady. In other words, what's in the try for talk, 2020 inflation rate and on its entirety compared to so far, 2021, then look at and say a day at a steady rate. A day at a steady rate. It's stable. That I think say then they try for talk. Triple A. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, Triple A. Thank you.
I go can read some of the messages then on Facebook where some people in the give about how government for able for tackle this inflation. Mandua Manchester says Sierra Leone need for look for introduce the KPI system when are the key performance indicator for we for able for get back to some sort of normality. It says Zambia and then they use the for control things na the country. Rugia Tukalon say in think the government for subsidize and pay the difference. He say in get an example. He say if like flour na $1 last month, then due to scarcity or some other thing them, it come to 125. He say the government for subsidize that 25 cents and make the things continue for be normal and affordable for people them. Let's come with Dr. Mekuyeri. What's in he get for we today? Welcome on board, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo. You get the platform.
Yes, hi, good evening, everybody. And I hope say everybody to do well. And thanks to you, thanks to Usman Toli for your submission and to the listeners and the viewers on Facebook. Um, to tell you the truth, the way things and it goes now Sierra Leone, it's really sad. It's really concerning, and I know it don't become a concern for many months or many years now. But it seems like say where things and they happen, we never see any measures them way then they take for ensure say it not continue for happen. It just seems like way things that happen, it seems everybody feel or the one them not to the people that we suffer really, but the one that we they govern we just feel say because then your room cold, then your house get light, then your house get water, then get food, now then table, and they forget say there are other people out there where they actually struggle day in day out for getting thing and they with that statistics Sierra Leone, as you ask, rightfully, waiting then they do with then data, not to for just obtain and collect data and compile and give you statistics based on your findings them waiting are you recommendation based on these findings there. So you just left and they and just they compile and say okay, I just they put them together if they ask me there, or you dey take them, you carry and go, you present them to the one that we really need for Yeri, for no saying that this they go on right now in the country. Some of them things they are so now the questions that will they ask, now the problem then will they get now with country, and we the hope say then be able for answer them questions there. Because yes, you they do your own job. now you assign for do. But waiting at you recommendation where you send something. It's just like where you get a patient, you diagnose them with something, you get a recommendation, not only one, maybe they get multiple recommendation or multiple treatments. Them you tell them, say, okay, this treatment here, so you need them because it will do X, Y, and Z for you. And this one you also need them because it will do X, Y, and Z. But if you choose this one, now this not the side effect, now this not the contraindications. You give them, all the benefits, the risk, and then the patient, and you advise them based on your expertise, and your own judgment for say, based on these findings or based on this what I don't present you with, I believe say this thing will really help you for let you go cure or for let this illness where you go through, we will get rid of them, right? So now the same thing we expect from statistics, Sierra Leone, based on national data, based on international data, or other, evidence-based them. We don't they happen based on what's in they see, what's in and they present to the government for say this now don't they see now so the trend don't look like. But if we not take these measures there, so this and this now will happen. Are they doing that? Those are questions me get for ask, and I hope so then they listen. I hope so they not they just take and say people that just want to hear the word, they not they do nothing about it. And that again bring me into this question. Are there this? Well, I'm sure many of us where they live overseas, we know say things then can be hard on one side. Maybe you go see say the gas price don't go up, but because the gas price go up, or because there's inflation, or because of the market, whether not the Nasdaq or the Dow, then different markets in the way then can say it don't drop this point, it don't go up this point. They see that effect on the daily consumers them products and what they need for get. Like for example, they say okay, because the markets dropped today, why I go to supermarkets, if I want to buy bread, the bread will be buy $1 or $2, it go up, like another dollar or 50 cents more. I rarely see that. I just have to say, I don't buy a specific item, for years, and I still they finance the same price. So that's because government put measures them in place for make sure say the people that way they sell, they're not go just the escalate price just because something in price go up. So now some of them things, and they always say we get forget price control now we country, because go say because some this dollar rate go up or this thing go up, so everybody for just think say them for raise them price where it be say sometimes if you think of it, the money where them pay for buy the item, it probably not get much effect on, and then just afraid say, oh, because the dollar don't go up, so I go for raise me price, well I will meet the money where now then will begin charge for them, right? So, and somebody mentioned something here which you mentioned right before I come in. That's a point. If then thing they are go by based on few percentages, why the government not gonna say in need for step in and take care of them kind of thing they are, so that the general public not go suffer, but it seems like they don't care. As always, that's what I think. If you really care, but if people them, you really care how then they live their life every day, when you go sleep, trust me, it's going to be difficult for you for let you sleep, knowing that you people then are the country, the one the way they govern, because they work for, then they go through such problems on their daily basis, where it comes to waiting their need, as human beings. And all the things that all they talk about now the bottom of the list of the hierarchy. As I always say, we they compare with country now with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because we still haven't climbed a ladder. The highest of that ladder is self-actualization. It seems like I'm not going to say never, because I just don't think I want to ever say Sierra Leone would never grow. I feel like Sierra Leone has to grow, and whether they like it or not, it's just time, right? So, well, my point is, when are we going to get there? Who's time will they get to that top of the ladder? Where if you look at the ladder itself, people that are looking at the pyramid right now, They say now the smallest part of it. The smallest part of it. And Salona, that's where they kind of mimic, but it seems like too many people are still at the bottom of it when at the largest part. So we only they ask again, is it possible for let them know, say, people that need them basics they have first, and let them find ways them how them will control them prices them, or the market and the businesses them, so that people don't just escalate price on the regular Sierra Leoneans where they cry every day about support. The youths then they suffer, the graduates then they suffer, even the one that way they work, then they find them very difficult for the salary where then they get. So we dey hope for the best. We know say salon tough, but still there is a lot of things that we don't meet at this point. So it's just where I'm gonna leave it tonight and hope say salon go better. Hashtag.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Look out whose friend, make we hear wetin whose friend get for we today. Welcome on board, whose friend. You get the platform, sir.
Thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform. And thanks to all our listeners and viewers. And thanks again to Dr. Tukaki for your contribution and Mr. Usman Toli for your contribution. Regarding this price index, we would know say all man different countries and get the road and the drum. And of course, all man they know say na a guideline, not that was a yardstick with the seller measure. You don't get you with 3 yardstick or 1 yardstick. This is how they put for lab will know what you are for cut. So you try to know if there is a country to develop economically in terms of the GDP said, because from there all this come on in terms of whatever they do or waiting they reflect on waiting the government gets for letting go support the people economy. In other words, waiting inflation, they reflect on waiting the people and they for go buy. Waiting and they go buy, it depends on waiting the person want the moment. And how the CPI they do, they can get different methods for approach them. But make it always question, the question, the World Bank, the question IMF, because they bring up these strategies based on historic reasons, for reasons why they try for help like governments that develop. The consumer price index, if not in the best way, and the method then they use for letting go able for correct inflation in any country. Because whenever you see there is a consumer price index release, the purpose of it, like what Dr. Derek was saying at some point, there must be a prescription. In other words, they don't diagnose the problem. See, there's an inflation. They're supposed to give it to the authorities concerned. But many times, the authorities concerned, they're supposed for they look at waiting at the structures they will go develop. Because for that World Banking kind of saying, it's okay, now so what for develop, what's the problem there? Now water business, or now road, now they cause this, or now because there is no electricity, or now because there is no farming, or is there because of people that they consume more than they produce. So you try to address the specific reason why there is that inflation where they spread across all the commodities them where person they say I mean household are they use because the commodities then they vary back. Some person go say this is my commodities why they purchase. Another company person go say no, this is the type of commodity. Say like rice, somebody go say I consume rice 3 times a day. Some go say, no, being a cassava, I go make them be a bear. They are go make an money like a dry cassava with a or that thing. Or I go make them in the evening, I go make like cassava cake into 3 areas. Those is for you know more people in consumption, it differ based on waiting then they get from the household income. And it also they differ in terms of rural and urban areas. And when you talk about rural areas, like you get to go extreme more than McKinney. You get to go far beyond McKinney. You get to go far beyond Bow. You get to go far beyond Kerem and Kailang. But the point where they try to see what in them they use. Because when you see the method they use, what in they can do? Then they try to take a variable of numbers. And when they get that variable numbers there, then they get one way they say, okay, this is the expenditure. And the expenditure, they can always say, okay, now how will we go for calculate this? Then get just a bit of a summary. Then they say the ratio of the value. That the value, what you really get from the thing, and the fixed basket, that you basket what you go buy. But you can forget a fixed basket. Some people in basket, they vary. Some people in basket, sometimes the moment you get for deviate from one thing to another. It is based on a budgetary reason. If there is a budgetary problem in a household, it reflects on in basket. So when they reflect on a basket, but what thing then they do, then they tell you, say, will they use this fixed basket and they purchase by the typical consumer? How the typical consumer, how we get to go buy this from Musa Ingo value from different years then. First of all, then they bring this first ratio, the first ratio, then they take up the expenditure, and then they always try to calculate and multiply by the price times the quantity. You see now? So the quantity what in your basket, and then they try for range out within a particular time, and then the total expenditure. But when you work them out, you see there is always what they call a nominal figure. And the nominal figure that now waiting, they're not able for adjust on an adjustable number. Now they use as 100 because they always put 100 for making the percentage. But it's very, very complicated in terms of the mathematics behind this. Because then they use, like, say, last June and July, then they divide them with those two ratio numbers and multiply it by 100. So the answer what they always get, that ratio that they use and divide by the following preceding number is sometimes complicating. Now for that, I will say the mathematics working there on the consumer price index, it can very, very complicating, wherein it is supposed to be a yardstick, but many times would they say the so I talk about the concept of the how developing countries they can always try for look. But somebody mentioned about key performance indicator. That might be one of the things where you go try for see, because when you talk about key performance indication again, you see say there is a quantifying, like or the quantity. They talk about quantity in actual quantity, the use of measurements. And when you measure those, it will come back to your household income. Is your household income, you go able to forget those quantity. Now, even the World Bank, there was a time I tell about they get this method. He get another name for the method where it almost similar to the key performance indicator. So in other words, that waiting the household income, waiting you they earn, waiting people and they able forget from them the domestic revenue, in other words, from a farm, waiting they get yearly. Then they say waiting in taste of food. And waiting the person way there, now that village will not get for buy electricity. So you were able to include electricity in a basket, you're not going able to include that. You go use kerosene, now in your basket. When you can't return, the one way you go able to put more, you say, okay, not what's in all man get electricity, but inside fridge, you go say, okay, now big ton, not put electricity in that basket today. So using the CPI is one way actually for telling about inflation. But when it come now to say, if government there, initial one, like when I say 1, 2, 3, 4 years, they don't do them, based on the don't know the way they talk about, there's the eye open. But because of the entry point, when these donor points are coming, the method they enter for bringing the help, you find out, say, for years, they have done this CPI. For years, like America, when they do CPI every year, or going down between months, then they dump back a bit of economy into circulation. They find out say it was just going up, expenditure was going up because whenever CPI comes, then they rush, then go back, well, cover that whole day. But those were not the method which were the right method to do. Find out the reason why the inflation. If in agriculture, you want to see and for bring money, so people go able to forget who the government will get profit, the people then go get profit from them, then that way will boost the economy, we embark on them. If not the area will have the infrastructure where so we will employ people so they go able to get more, so how they go able for we employ them. But it all comes to inflation and taxation. If not taxation, we know say they cause the inflation and we own country because every area has its own issues. Because you come to the inflation, the CPI, you talk about geographical areas. In the geographical areas to the villages, even your own geographical area as a country itself. Not waiting the inflation with international monetary fund they bring to you because themselves can oppose this. But because they have no other way, they have put this principle and they've never gone to review them. So they go able to see how they go able to help developing countries. But you as a country, like you get for say, let me use me own common sense. Let me apply. Like people are giving example of Zambia, even though they have their own issues of debts and other stuff. But now we see they're using those methods. But the point here I'm trying to analyze, let them carefully use common sense. Let them use them if they want to use them for convince them donors then. But when they go, let them use their strategies when they go able to apply. But again, when they can get them when they go say, well, will they give enough for let una go able to do this? But they are doing that. But when they say, okay, will they give una electricity so they go able to help una in terms of one of the SDGs, them strategic development goals or whatever, you look say the point where they address, you go kind out to where how people and they go procure, how would that then go able to they make something for last. We don't know if these are going to change this because we are still waiting. Because sometimes you get the nursery stage, you get the stage where they say, I'm transplanting this plant, I'm going to nurse them for them to grow. But all depending how you nurse these ideas and these new forms, where development they go, where global development they come, different ideas and they can now. You go see that change into other method of agriculture because they develop the people and the population they increase, people and the education ideas they become wider for understand. So you therefore tackle all these smaller aspects so that you will come give the CPI, you go give them and a guidance for spot out waiting cause that man in price different. Let government will subsidize for transportation. Let we get haulage system, which is not easy, I know, but let them put this in plan. So we'll get better roads, we're gonna get haulage system where the people then get for the just they go pay a reasonable amount, cost, so they will remove their food. You get one they want a frozen food, where they get for need cooling system, all those kind of things. These are the areas where you say let them try help. But again, we don't see World Bank. They say that for let the energy, electricity will get for develop. But I don't know how far would that investment gonna sustain. Is it just gonna be a minor one where they are waiting for Ivory Coast to bring in? We will get electricity, we'll get water, so you will get this thing will begin to kick up. So that you get agriculture they under. They get the youths are turning their minds to areas of skillfulness, wherein they are using their talent to develop something in a part of their education. Or are we encouraging them in terms of their talent? I will leave that areas of talent development for another day, but I only hope say the inflation is actually there. But the inflation where they go, it not they reflect on the household economy. Now, small household economy, chasing goods them will not able to purchase. But I only hope say God will able to help we so that as leaders, then go able for again. So as I say the inflation based on the ratio of your household income. In other words, your gross household income, now you reflect on your gross household expenditure. So that you what they consume, you will get that satisfaction. Not to those who they can observe you. You they get the taste. And they reflect on your own personal development based on waiting dinner at the table. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. And I only hope say God will go for help we so that we'll be able to proceed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Who's friend?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Most welcome. Yes, sir.
Make we come with Tony Ture Jones. Make we hear waiting in get for we today.
Yeah, Fambolem. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you listen. Thanks for having me, Abraham. So excited having Sierra Network Radio in my living room today. Welcome, Abraham, to Boston. And if you say the inflation we get in a salon ain't on you, that things then it don't happen. And especially just like Osman Tolly mentioned, you know, the bottom line of this all is because then grab say they want for do well, I don't know how they call themselves. They want for reduce or the zeros then with the BN. It sound like the currency so gets a big name 1,000, this that's 100,000 and this and that, and all that thing and they create panic. But the area where I want we look at, for example, statistics alone, they do a very good job. Like where they do business analytics. If you say then their job is creating the database, you understand? Having this information ready. if the Ministry of Trade is serious and they want for curtail they want for get informations, this information they use are not only for because of inflation or whatever. Now therefore contact them, because if they know say they know they do this survey or they know they go to the market and get a fact-based information on this, now therefore go meet statistics, say can we use your information if you want for curtail on inflation. You remember, if people then can remember back when we during the COVID, I talk say when we come to the recovery of COVID, when we recover, that na the area where governments them for very be careful, because if you not get a serious plan in place, it will lead to inflation. And for crown this all, even if they don't me say, then the whatever the currency or whatever, we will still see this pattern of inflation, because this don't not today, even before they mention that, we don't see that steady growth in terms of prices. So what thing you they do a clever government or clever minister will do, because I know for you they try for engage the importers. You they engage the importers them, you they engage the transporters, you they engage all the stakeholders them, where they influence the inflation, where they influence this particular thing where they happen at the markets. Engage them and see how one can get a synergy. If we're not able to get a synergy, you understand? Synergy in the sense, how can we help? What can we do as a government? How can we ensure a win-win situation? How can we curtail the prices? How can we this? So many questions. You go see, say, you go get, it's like a conversation. They must meet at a point wherein we go get a win-win situations. For example, in the United States, when price begin go up in the barrel price, you understand, or for fuel, what exactly happened? We see the president announce, I don't know if people them they follow up, is say importers or people that really with fuel, then go for now give them a tax break on oil. The governments they generate so much money. Then they generate money, they come, grants they come, so many things then they come. I feel say this now a particular point we are in, just like how any government they do in the world, even in America, then give business system, then give them boost, then give them support. You they come in, you understand, and give the oil importers and some tax breaks. Because Usman Toli mentioned something right where he say once fuel price go up, the ripple effect is all other things then go up. Don't forget about the currency where they want for whatever. You understand? Eh? So you they meet them and tell us, okay, this is what we want to do. Because mind you, government, your main objective is for satisfied you people them. You give them a better life, you give them a better face, you try for make the people that wade into business able for make the viable business viable, in a sense, make a business they make profit, not only at a break even where there's no profit, there is no loss, but wherein you go see how we go able for make little put money now in our pocket. Then go give ideas. The business people they're very clever. The importers they're very clever. The transporters they're very clever. Other people, the oil people, the way they wait to, even the banks, you have to involve the banks. It's like getting them people out together. If you give them some tax break on the importation of oil and salon, I tell you something what's going to happen. This kind of inflation, I don't know how for business. I don't know if this is not demand inflation, demand push inflation, because there is no rush in the market. I think it's like we're getting. I mean, Usman Toli mentioned something about cement. In May, cement now 75 to 80,000 for bag. Right now, as I talk to you, it's 110,000 for bags. Iron rod in May was like 9 million. Now you not get 10 million, so until you not go get iron rod. 5/8, that big one. If you not get 20 something million, you not go get 1 ton iron rod. You understand? Okay, those ones we can understand. Say those ones are now they're not too much important. We they look at the ones that were important when are the bread and butter issue, the yam side. Give people some tax pay. Government say they don't reduce taxes now, the lowest taxes this ever where they get to business people. So ask them, we've given you guys a tax break. We reduce tax on importation of essential commodities. What's happen with the reduction? Probably you go back and do a forensic check and say probably the bottleneck situation our Taki, the type of situation where they do. Government forget scanner. Where them barrel and they pass through. You get for open somebody in barrel, they pull the thing then piece by piece. Government for invest in it. If we have for institute a method for check people that sell arms snocker, then there should be a scanner where we all don't travel. You see, we bag and luggage and they pass through something where they scan. If there is anything, they say it go show na the computer, they go pick out that thing. Government for invest. It go invest because what you make when you get this kind of situation where they go for the check. So it creates a scarcity in the market in somehow because some of these goods not they go in time at the market. People that don't send and things them. People that where you ship with for send things in as alone. They say they charge, but because of the delay, they say they spend more extra money because if they don't want to let them check the container there, they go for go put for the people there. And then cost and who pays the final cost? It's the final consumer. Where they feel the pinch, when are the people and where they don't want it. So government's able for come together with the money where then they generate, with revenue the way they come, money then when they get as grants and aids, they need for subsidize. I know I use the word subsidize, but that money where then they generate, where then they get from taxes, where they tax the oil company, they can get that same money they elsewhere. And reduce their spending. But what we are saying, they're not reducing their allowances. They're not reducing their commission or whatever or this and that. They keep spending more. They're still expanding the wage bill. They're still spending like we're normal. It's normal situation like they're in an economy where they boom. An economy where gets the resources. An economy where not the old way back for law not spend. They're not spending like we're in crisis. You get for quote according to your size. You get for make sure say you get reserve. Now I make fun say when you get reserve, it translates to your economy, your currency, the strength of your economy. You understand? We not get them on then. So most of the revenue coming in, then grants, then this, then that. They all for spend a quick. And then they spend on tangible things then. Capital expenditure, things then we go able for translate for improve life. Things that we go able for see, we go able for touch, we go able for yes, look hospital when they build. This is why we then go down them. People don't know go they digest now. This is why we don't go make them. People don't know go they this. You understand? Now they kind of thing and they will work for say some of these funds then divert and so if we say transport business in price where it go up, it affects other things them. It affects goods that we then get for Kego Nabo, things that we then get for Kego Kenema, Kego Kono, Kego Bo, mechanic, can go put Sloko, can go Cambia, can go all inside and you get the business. Almost oil company do we have in Sierra Leone, for example, apart from MP, Leone, Total, and I don't know the other ones. I know if we get up to 5 importers, them give them some tax breaks on oil, and see the effect. You go tell them say, okay, I go now some tax break for 2 months, or for let's say for a quarter, for 3 months, and see, because if prices, if you not tax them, even when the price go up in the world market, for the barrel and this and that, they will not give that significant increase in the price of oil. Reason being because government don't give them some tax breaks on importation. So government therefore put this. It's not like a rocket science. The world is being run by what we call right now emotional intelligence. People don't really research, people don't really this. Just follow up and see how the world is. It's common sense, empathy. If you get empathy for your people, then when you rule, you go able to apply things them where you go make sure say for solve those things them. It's not like you get for. It's not like the carrot and stick approach. Now that's so we get for go by. Now so we get for go by. No. You they watch relevances. You see, how can we? There's no two economic that can be the same. We always see down, hey, even Ghana, even this. No, always they take Guinea within here. No Guinea. It's got me they go Guinea from where baby. Now I begin go Guinea. And now Guinea me day. Where you go, you want for go na market. Now them big motor carry him there with the jump because it is flawed. Conakry me the flood. They say no Guinea they like it today. Nobody no go didn't tell me say do not still get the flaws them and this dot no day or this or that no day. But watch Guinea. They're going at a steady progression, steady. Williams me get far value above Guinea money. Now almost at par. Somebody they tell me say now the same now. Imagine almost at par. What you feel you see they happen. They doing what we do call emotional intelligence. They put their sense outside and no say this is going to improve the life of the Guinea. Guinea get a major opposition pass alone. Probably certain that na one of the difference. Because they get they get this Seludalin. You understand? They're working together. They have importers. They have people that are waiting. Governments are coming. Government they subsidize. Government they this because governments they get revenue elsewhere. Governments they get grants elsewhere. Governments they get money the way they come elsewhere. So in a nutshell, with governments they get money. So for make you give tax break to people they bring essential goods and services, where they bring rescam, where they bring yabas, where they bring tamatis, where they bring this, it not will cost them nothing because they not tell you say then they make money and money then they come. So they have to use those data. Then they will statistics they use. Then go for user. That na miotic. Then go for user and see how they can get a meeting. Harmonize then thinking with the importers, the bankers, the transporters, and see how best they can leverage. Because month in, month out, what would you see? Inflation. They go up. That's the miotic. Abraham, I welcome you to Boston.
Thank you very much, Tony Tuye Jones. Mayama Suma say, then they spend for extend one person. Okay. I'll see now. Yusuf, we listen. You get the opportunity now, let your voice be heard. Oman and Minneapolis say in a nutshell, inflation they affect more poor people than the one them we not get. You say poor people they get limited resources. You say inflation not they affect large amount of people compared to the interior. That's the way then they tell you about this single digits na free tongue as compared to the double digits where they na the provinces. So maybe we in a free tongue would they manage them well. Même so be safa say DMV they with me. Okay, yeah. Because right now Tripoli Boston. Alright. The other day, I be there Windsor to Dr. Aissatou Kake Jallo. They try for suicide, we go reach before we left here. Judge Kama, they agree with Tony, say, now because the government not get a tax fraud proof system, people then they pay lower tax going through the back door. Then the tax break the government they give, they defeat in purpose. Corruption in all level, and a corruption in the Ambogwe. But I think say statistics Sierra Leone, where they don't get this data. Now they say we say the developing partners themselves need them for taking informed decision. Well, we wouldn't have for the Kawita. But we don't see there is a steady increase of inflation in Sierra Leone. Even though then they try for make them fine, but steady increase there. And the Ministry of Trade, I don't know, but then get work. Yes, caller, they live on here. You name and who the call from, please.
Yes, Triple A. Good evening. This is Adama. I call from Sierra Leone.
Yes, Adama. Happy belated birthday because na be yesterday. What do you get for we? You did live. Continue. You they get me? Or they get you?
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. I get you now. Okay. I don't do now for some time, and I don't see so many things then, especially when it comes to pricing. Now this part of the world. Right now, where I can go to market the things and where not only did they raise the price, I don't also find something out how people that they use that they sell the palm oil. The palm oil that they put chlorine inside their AAA. Where you buy
Curry.
that thing there for go put, yeah,
And
palm
they put
oil,
curry
palm
paddy
oil.
mine now.
Yes, coloring, yeah. The color. They put color inside the color
Oh, coloring.
for make it
Oh
red.
yeah. Ah, that
Yeah,
one there
coloring.
from 10 they do one.
Coloring, and then they also the chlorine for water well. Where I then at the village day, I don't come that fit time these days because we're gonna market now fake one that they sell you. So me the water well right now, I get problem with them. So I don't kind of fit time for buy na go. So I mean, sometimes me don't understand now some other things then where people that they complain about the government, the government, the government. But really, we people then do that they not they help, they not help each other. So all of these things, not only they put the price up, but all these things that we people that they do, also correct. Now that's someone I want for put on a table that I don't see different things then way I get for I want to talk about. And to me, they really bother me with that coloring where they put on at the palm oil. They don't even know what thing that thing is all about, how it affects the people then we use them. So I thank you very much, Chupoe, for giving me the platform.
Thank you very much, Adama.
Bye bye. Yes. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. That one for the coloring, you. Huh? Until then, the parana salon pampa mine and coloring. It's you know what the things them where they can use. I don't know because cayenne pepper says that they put cola pan cayenne pepper. Yes, caller, I did live on here. You name and side the call from, please. Mama, you go talk loud, small. Oh. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay, sir. I just want talk about this CPI where then they talk about because like this CPI where then they collect this database and get two sets of way where then they collect them because like they pass 2016-17, then get the ICP, then get the CPI. Where in BC the ICP, where then they collect the database there, say we get the supermarket there, we get we local market then. At times you can see this same granite when are the same granite, but like how then they sell them now supermarkets and how then they sell them now in local markets then and quite different. So like we don't know if one know but then two prices then if they do the same two surveys then up to now, if now the CPI only then they focus on, or if then they do the ICP because like the past one when they do the ICP, then they tally the ICP and the CPI. So when they tally them two commodities, then two surveys and then now then they able to get the actual price where then they able to disburse out. But like throughout this discussion where you make this presentation where you make now the CPI no more I already mean the talk in terms of. So I don't know if then they do the ICP back up to now. Because like the ICP now in they go down to the Lumos level, where even they go down to the cobbler. But the CPI now in can more emphasize now like then supermarkets, then restaurants. It can go into the market too, but like they didn't focus too much to the market side, like the ICP. So I don't know if they still do the ICP back.
Trade.
Yes, sir.
Trade. Una can get all
yes,
the data. Which one are they do?
Well, when they cannot get at the data, then first then they do the tally, and then two data then they. When they do the tally, like the past SG being King Kuruma, being the make sure say when in the doing presentation, the Minister of Trade can always did it. The Minister of Trade can always do in the doing presentation. And then data then they can do, then they even forward that data then they to the Minister of Trade for making able see how best impact can able work fine. Because then data then they can able help the Minister of Trade for making able do something better.
Okay, thank you very much, Famo.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, the phone line look they come steady, so Famo will be the last caller. Umar na Minneapolis he say an entity has to be charged with waiting for do with the data. You see, waiting at the importance of data if you know they put them into use. If not for just collect no more, say where we now this government they pay we and who don't do we work. It left to them now waiting they want do it. Who they do we own. Eh? Abdoulaye Bundu contest say the Guinean president is studying in Russia or CCCP. That's why they move forward. That's a compact day. I don't know now. There's an increase in the cost of freight. From Australia, we land see the price now at $12,000. I don't believe it's Australian dollars. Yes, Australian dollars for 40 feet container. But you not tell me how much will be they pay before. I'll tell us, say, who people in need for watch the Explorer, we in a documentary where they showcase other African countries like Zambia, Senegal, Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, and so many other African countries running their countries. They say we in a salon, we just complain about this and that for the last 50 years and change. Una self not tired with this. We just deep and diagnose. Able uswan this. And the same one no more, sir. Issa man he say Sierra Leone. Now we big one in the world and they say now do not give in country. Will they wait for me then give you? He say Sierra Leone it depend on donors them. And it's very difficult for get tax break for businesses. Because the person will say, Ibo, me, I help you, what you do? Usman Toli say for agree say the world freight prices don't go up exponentially. He say year on year, the cost for shipping 40 feet container don't go up by 25%. With the left here, but let's squeeze this collar quick. We squeeze this collar quick, then we left here. Yes, caller, your name and who side you call from, please?
Constance Leone from Australia.
Yes, Constance Leone, and it's you.
Yeah, man.
What you get for we today?
Well, I don't look at the presentation. The unfortunate thing is the Sierra Leone economy very weak before the COVID-19 come around the world. So as a result, we therefore suffer very, very heavily because we economy not ever strong in that country there. We not ever get a strong economy since after independence. So now that we struggle with. In the final say countries that even we get a stronger economy, like the United States, Australia, Canada, they still suffer because of the COVID. But it's not that the others suffer not heavy like how we they suffer in Africa. Most of the African countries and today. Because most African countries, the economics are very, very, very weak. So as a result of this COVID, in the final say a lot of things, industries, they even shut down around the world. So manufacturing, in the final say it drop and shipment around the world, commodities them across trade drop around the world. So if I now say that a major factor when you look at the international standard of how things they happen around the world, the trend. All over the world, a lot of companies, a lot of entities they shut down. You get manufacturers, the way they do productions, they shut down. So if I now say, even if they get a demand for a product in Africa or around the world, if I now say they reduce the amount of buying. So that's also they affect the revenue where governments can get across the world. Because when in interdependent world they live, where in one country, they just say they ain't go depend on himself. So you get for list with other countries then. Even Australia get the big challenge with China, like with the iron ore exports. You know, the Chinese and say, oh, this is not the COVID time. They definitely they try for most of the prices then. But because the Australia economy is very strong, they still continue for survive. So we look at also how government they look at how not the only way out now how government they do, but how you go subsidize also if the economy not strong. This now the challenges again, and if government they spend more. You know, if you spend more, they not get a stronger economy. It's very difficult a very challenging for make you subsidize. So I believe saying that that's the government they face. But government look at for check in spending. If you know they get money, you know they get revenue too much, I believe you get for reduce your spending. Then also like them microcredit, what they give people in a free talk. If it left to me, now the people in the villages them, even the one the way they do that backyard agriculture, I prefer for buy rice. I prefer for buy even granite. My bag, I go ship and give them people in our village for make them plant granite. At the end of the day, that is more better than giving people money in Freetown in the name of microcredit. I prefer them microcredits than the people more we deserve. Now the people in the disadvantaged communities, especially and at the villages, them we want embarked in agriculture, but they not get subsidy. They not people government able give them subsidy or give them loan for make them embarked in agriculture, wherein them go even tip in for produce food. So if I mean our government, them money they give people in Africa, I not say it wrong, but if you look at priority base, I believe say the people who go engage in agriculture, for me, I go take and say I preference for make I give them than people in Africa who go just sell last street, go buy market, can sell. I prefer I go give somebody they produce something where they multiply food in the country. Then I mean on take. Then again, I read boy talk about the Australian shipping. And the traders in Africa and the people in Africa get for strain. And the price of electronics get for increase because Australia, we they produce and we they get the, not that we product better past America products, but being that we they use the same voltage as Freeton, when at 240 voltage, now it make it the final say, we good say what they send at Freeton, they do well in terms of buying. Because somebody know they go buy a product, a television where they use 110, they get for go find difficulty again for get step down, for go buy step down. And even when you use the step down, you always they get the television swing go to switch in and off because of the instability of the light with the step down. So if I now say now because of the restriction where Australian get on the shipping company the way they can Australia, when they can the key, they get for there for 2 weeks for quarantine before ever they sell us anything get for happen. So if I now say whenever they ship they take at the water, the more they pay. And now that don't make Max Line and other shipping companies now. This month was the last month of people away ship where they ship container at least 6,000 to 5,500 Australian dollar. So in the next coming months now, it will be like $12,000. So imagine. So therefore, again, that will increase the price of commodity of electronics and other goods that they come up from Australia to fit on. Because nobody will get the gut for go take $12,000 for ship in second-hand goods. How much you will go sell them? So you see, even if I ship the 40 feet container at 12,000, would I get for suffer? The final consumer who will buy the product, I get for increase my price because the price of the container don't increase. So this again, I burden who people and get for suffer. But Mr. Self one ship now, I'm able to ship because the guy I ask I send at $12,000 and he send me own invoice. One me by the one Nigerian guy when I ship an agent with Max 9. So that's it. So in this December throughout, except things change, but it will be difficult for me traders and get a product them, except this last month of people who they ship. So it's very challenging for them. I feel sorry for them. And we self now is saddened that the price don't increase. So now that na me on take. Thank you so much.
I thank you very much, Concern Sierra Leone. Thank you, sir. For the shipment in increase one in price, it's all over. Even at the UK, even here at the United States, now Australia, I don't tell we they own. Who's I go left? Nowhere. And the first person will be bring that to me notice now from Germany. And from Germany, the person be saying to me notice there is an increase. So the increase now they all over. Just like how Usman Tolis say, the shipment cost and all those things. Now we go down today on. We can't wait again for can look at the consumer price index for August 2021. And then it will be inside September. We hope say government they go through this, government they go through that. But the same government, they say they struggle, and the same government just not to last week Saturday night, where they give the weekly summary, I talk about creating new space again for people in the local court. They want get a deputy chairman, they get one, they get this, they want get that. What if you say they pay all the one and they? So then they create more. You see na job. Na difficult to handle. A difficult one. But now we go left everything for today. And we go meet here back tomorrow. We just hope for the best for Sierra Leone. Till we meet again, Triple A say, Tata.